All right, interior designers, installation day is the culmination of the whole entire project. So having the right toolkit is a make it or break it to seeing that through to succession. Succession? What does succession even mean? All right, interior designer, it's installation day and it's the culmination of all your hard work. What should you take with you that day to make it a smooth and beautiful process? I'm about to tell you. All right, over the past 12 years of doing installation days in million-dollar homes, I have really distilled the list down to the 8 most essential things you need to bring in order to equip yourself really best. I know that installation days can sometimes feel overwhelming and even daunting with all the pieces and parts and moving things that you have to take control of. I remember maybe the most terrible installation day that we were doing 2 houses adjacent to each other overseas, and that day all the furniture that was delivered for house 1 was delivered for house 2, and all the furniture for house 2 was delivered to house 1, and then the guys left. So if there's anything that I know over the decade that I've been doing this is that ish can go wrong. So I have distilled all the things you could possibly need down to the 8 most essential things that you need in order to have a successful installation day. The first thing I recommend having is a checklist. I know that during installation day, there's a lot of things that are your responsibility to make sure happen well on installation day, like that everything works, for example, and that everything is delivered, for example, and then thirdly, that everything looks good at the end. So first, to figure out if everything works, it's important to go down a checklist to make sure you don't forget anything. The way I do it is first, I always look at electrical. So I make sure that all the outlets are working, that all the switches are working, and all the new light fixtures are working. The second thing I do if plumbing is involved is I check all the plumbing fixtures. Then I move into the purchase order. I want to make sure that everything on my purchase order has in fact been delivered to the house. And I literally go one by one and check off every single item to make sure that there's nothing missing. Then after that comes the styling part, which you might think is the funnest part. I do. And that is going around and making sure that everything looks visually appealing. So are the pillows fluffed? Are the flowers prepped? All the things that make that room just shine. So if you do everything always in the same order of the way that you check things and do things by way of a checklist, you can ensure that nothing will get missed. If you're interested in downloading the checklist that I use, go to my website, biographicaldesign.com, and there'll be on the resource page a downloadable checklist. The second really important thing to have on installation day is a list of all the contacts for all the people that are involved that day, and that contact information is available to the whole team. So for example, the delivery people, the installers, the clients, your information, all of that information needs to be readily available and easily accessible, because when someone's late or you feel like they're not showing up, you maybe want to give them a call right away. Number 3. This may seem obvious, but often overlooked. Make sure you have with you the renderings or the furniture plans or whatever drawings you need in order to support you in remembering where things go. Listen, I work on 24 projects a year. I can't remember all the details for every single project. So it's really important to equip myself with that information so that I'm not standing around going, does anybody know where this goes? But that I can just real quick pull up the rendering and say, this goes there. Sounds obvious, but I promise it will happen to you. Number 4, you want to make sure you have a toolbox of tools ready for installation day. So for example, I one time had curtains installed that didn't meet the floor the way they were supposed to. And what happened is they were actually so wrinkled in shipping that they kind of scrunched up. Luckily, I had my steamer with me and I was able to steam the curtains to relax and fall into their proper place and touch the floor really beautifully. So things like that over the years have taught me the things you need to have in your toolbox, like a steamer, and here are some others. So definitely a steamer, because curtains, like I said, and also because often when furniture is packaged for shipping, then the fabric can sometimes hold on to the shape of the tape or the packaging material, and steaming them can release it. Another thing is scissors and a box cutter. There's going to be a lot of packaging that day, so having scissors and a box cutter, particularly the kind that can clip to your pants, are going to be really helpful. At a moment's notice, you can whoosh and open a box. Another thing that you're going to want to have with you is tape. I know it sounds like, why would you need tape? But often it's helpful to do things like tape the rendering to the wall and things like that. Another thing that you want to consider having in that toolbox is a hammer and a picture hanging toolkit. Often in the projects that we work with, we have professional picture hangers. But sometimes there's just that one little thing left over, or that powder room piece that needs to be hung, and there's a lot of people that are busy, and you can roll up your sleeves, get that elbow grease, and help out. And so that's what I do. And so sometimes it can be really helpful to have a hammer and a nail to just get something hung real quick. Another thing you want to consider having in that toolbox is a lint roller. So sometimes, again, with the packaging, there's like that little packaging fuzz that comes on things, and having a lint roller to just be able to really quickly get that off is really helpful. Another thing is an adhesive remover, like for example, Goo Gone. Often, products come with like little stickers on the bottom, and those kind of things just make things look a little bleh. So if you have an adhesive remover, you can just rub that right off, and it's really easy to take that off, because sometimes when you try to pick at it, it can chip your nail polish, and who wants chipped nail polish? But the other thing is, sometimes trying to peel those stickers off of glass, it's like impossible to get that adhesive off. You know what I mean. So having an adhesive remover is going to really, really help you there. The other thing you want to consider having is glass cleaner and paper towels. Sometimes workers, laborers, movers, or whatever can put their hands on glass or touch the glass front door to close it, and it's going to be really great if you can just touch up those little things at the end to make sure that everything is sparkly when you leave it. The other thing that you want to consider is not borrowing things from the client. It doesn't feel really yummy, in my opinion, to ask the client all the time, like, hey, can I borrow your glass cleaner? Hey, do you have scissors? Hey, can I borrow your whatever? I feel like taking leadership of install day means that you've come fully prepared with everything that you could possibly need. And one more thing you want to consider having in that toolbox is a dustpan. Again, with the packaging and the foot traffic, there can be really often a lot of little things all over the floor, and we don't want to leave it that way. It's especially not nice looking in pictures. So having a little dustpan means you can real quick just sweep things up and throw it in the garbage, and everything looks picture perfect. So the next thing that you want to consider doing or having on installation day is consider having a nice outfit on. Almost always on installation day, we equally do photography day. So we come, we install everything, and then when everything is done, the photographer comes and photographs everything. And what I like to do is be in one of the pictures and or have a picture of me doing something for social media or whatever. So consider dressing really nice on installation day, really nice in your whatever that means for you, but consider dressing authentic on installation day so that if you are able to be in a picture, you feel ready and excited to do so. So the next thing you want to consider having on installation day is a photographer. When everything is said and done and everything is beautiful and everything's perfect and sparkly, having the photographer there and ready that day maximizes your chances of getting the room when it's picture perfect. Because the longer a client lives in the space, the more you get shoes and toys and things that you're going to have to clean up later to prep for photography day. So if you can overlap those days, that would be great. All right, second to last thing that you're going to want to make sure you have with you on installation day is a prepared mind. It's really important to come with your best self on installation day. There's a lot to do, and you want to feel empowered on installation day. So does that mean that you need to get a good night's sleep or exercise that morning or listen to your favorite song or have a dance party before you go? Whatever it is that you can do to prepare your mindset for that day is going to really support you really powerfully. And the last thing I want to leave you with is this. Every masterpiece is signed by the artist. So how can you leave your brand signature and deliver excellence on installation day? What's that one thing you can do to leave just that finishing touch that really says you've been there? For example, what we like to do is fill the house with fresh cut flowers. So what can you do to deliver above and beyond and leave your signature on your masterpiece for your clients? All right, I know that this installation day can feel like there's a lot of moving pieces and parts. And the thing about it is that a lot of this comes from experience and wisdom share with other designers. So it's so important to join a community of other designers who are dedicated to each other. If you want to be a part of ours, you can visit us on Facebook at the Biographical Design Collective, and you can be part of our community who is dedicated to loving you.